All right, looks like I have some adjustments to do here. There we go. That ought to do it. Righty. I would say we are live, but we are not. I am live at right at 9 o'clock for a change, and doing a. We'll see how long the show goes. Might be a quick show, might not. I don't even have any idea what we're going head to head with tonight. I have no idea. Um, on here basically to try to get probably about 3 or 4 families some help if we can. We have, and I'll cover this again a little bit later in the show because we don't have very many of you in here right now. But Ruby May's in the hospital. We got her some medication money and transportation money for her mother to go see her in the hospital. And but there will be some additional medication that is needed. She's been having a lot of breathing problems, and so she is on our list to help. We're kind of in the mind of oh, there's Mango. How you doing, Mango? Uh, so we have her on our mind, trying to help her with some medication money, probably looking in the neighborhood of about $30. We have Art Gel's family, little Art Gel, the one we've known since she was 7 years old. She and her mother wrote me and said they were really needing rice pretty bad. Once again, that's roughly about $30 to get them a probably about a 20 to 30 day supply of rice. That would be a big help to their family. Um, yeah, those notifications come a little slow sometimes, but thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. Um, you never know how those are going to go. This is in yeah. Oh, there's Dean Hacker, a Dean Hacker with a 1999 super sticker. We appreciate that. Now, for everyone else, we appreciate those. We will get credit for that next month. The April money has been decided. Now we're collecting May money, so we will get that. Believe it or not, the after the 21st of May. So it'll be a little no, we will get that the 21st of June. So all donations coming in for the month of May are tabulated in May, and then June the 21st or the 23rd, depending on how the holidays and weekends fall. Is so we will not get that donation there until the 21st of June. So we don't mind the $5 and $10 donations in here too much, but if you can donate one of the other ways that you see up on the board right there, we get those immediately. If you donate either to Bolin Services Incorporated at Gmail, that is the new not-for-profit PayPal account that we have. You can donate there. Or if you have the old ways in, that's just as good. I mean, it all works out one way or the other. Kenny Bolin at MSN is the PayPal account. Food for Filipinos at Gmail. All three of those are PayPal accounts. But Bolin Services Incorporated at gmail.com is the brand new, I say brand new, about a month ago, created as a not-for-profit organization through PayPal, through a special PayPal account. And for those that do donate there and don't do it as friends and family, the fees are about half of what they would be on a regular PayPal account. We had to send them our paperwork and all that good stuff. And thank you, Mr. Hacker. We appreciate that. And thank you for helping. We appreciate that. So that money will be coming in June the 21st, but at least, hey, it's money coming in June the 21st. It beats the hell out of nothing. But so we try to keep the larger donations, anything over $10, to come in these ways. But if this is the only way you have to donate, then it beats nothing. The other thing is that YouTube takes 30% of the donations that come in on super stickers. YouTube doesn't really make it easy for you to know that. But if you dig and research hard enough, you see that YouTube does everything they can to make as much money off this as they can. Starting May the 12th, in 6 more days, YouTube will be inserting commercials on live shows for those of you that do not have YouTube Premium. So they're trying to motivate more people to get premium. I've got premium. My son's got it. A few other friends I know have it. But there will be, starting May the 12th, periodic live commercials during our live shows. The good thing for us, that creates more revenue for the show. For the fans, I guess it'll be a short inconvenience, maybe a 50. I can't imagine the commercials being more than 15 seconds, 30 at the max. And I guess the show will just pick right back up from where the commercial starts. I'm anxious to see how that works, but that starts on May the 12th from the notifications we be getting on how revenue will continue to work. Jazzy Jana from Louisiana, weather is, yeah, we finally got a break in the weather here. There's Dean also did a $2 donation. So Dean basically did a $23 donation tonight. We appreciate that. And he told me a few days ago on the next show he was going to be making at least a $20 donation, and we appreciate that. Jazzy Jana, hi King. The weather is kicking down here, but we had some shit weather for several days, but the last 2 days have been pretty clean here. So we're glad to have that. That is not a zebra in my back window. That is a zebra-shaped striped pillow. I just noticed if I just put a head on that pillow, you basically got a zebra back there. Now, this is a zebra. That's Zelensky the zebra waving the Bolin Services Incorporated flag. I think some of you have seen my corporate flags hanging on my porch. I've got 3 of them out there now that wrap the entire porch. Provides me a little extra shade, a little extra protection from when it rains, as we have had plenty. For those of you that watch the Kentucky Derby, it rained Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a fair amount yesterday. But today was a beautiful dry day, and the squirrels have been happy to actually eat their nuts in dry weather. We all have to have something to go for. My eyes have been killing me the past 2 days, so I'm wearing my dark readers. And read fairly well in these. And let's see, Bob is having nerd night tonight. You all know how that goes. So Bob will rarely, at least for a while, be doing the Tuesday night shows. So let's see. Billy's got information here. Hello, Kenny. We had, I'm sure a lot of you were getting what passed through Louisville. A lot of what hits Louisiana makes its way up here eventually. But we had I don't want to call it a tropical storm, but we had one of those storms that kind of rotates from the east and hovers back over Louisville, which most of our weather normally comes from the west, passes over us, and then eventually hits North Carolina, might make its way up to New York, Boston, various places like that. We rarely ever get weather from Florida, but it happens, but it's rare. And 90% of the time, our weather comes from California through the Midwest, through Louisiana. A lot of times, the bad weather generates down in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and works its way up here. So there's your weather report. But Jazzy Jana is the trained weather person, so she can explain all this better than I can. So we are really desperately trying to raise at least $80 in here tonight. If I'm doing well, 30, 60, no, 120, excuse me. $30 for Ruby May's family, $30 for Art Gell's family. Eunice's family is needing $40, and that's mainly for some graduation stuff to get the kids properly dressed. They want them in certain gowns, hats. It is amazing what their school system does to these kids, but in order to graduate, they have some things they need. So 30, 60, that's 100. So 130 would be a good number for tonight for those of you that have it and that can help. I mean, obviously, if you can't pay your own bills, we're not asking you to do anything. But like the Jazzy Janas and the Billy Sellers and the various others, Dean Hacker, who have a few extra dollars and can be of some help. Me and my son just sent $300 over to Istanbul to help our friend out over there who just had a bad earthquake. 300 scratches the surface, but at least it gives them something to work with, put some food in the house, and puts them in a little bit better situation. Beats the hell out of not having 300. Bob has been a big help to Jelly Bean's family. They have needed medication. She needed to get a laptop to do her schoolwork on. And now that she's in college, and to make life a little easier to be able to work from home, do her schoolwork from home. So Bob and I have had to put out a chunk to help out the families that are close to us. And Yila is over in Istanbul, has been a dear friend of mine probably since 2007. and was basically my son's tour guide when he went to Istanbul for the neighborhood of about 6 months. So she's very sweet and very important to us. Oh, did you do your podcast today, Billy? How did it go? How did it go? And as you all know, the numbers get messed with over here, something fierce. And sometimes the notifications go out and our numbers are pretty good. And then sometimes the notifications are very slow and then we get what we get. So let me check and see if we have any. Oh, I thought we had some donations, but it doesn't look like we have any other than what Mr. Hacker has done. I thought I saw some come through. Guess I'm seeing things. No, that's all bullshit mail. Let me go back again. Nope. We don't have anything. All right. So, well, if we make $60 or more, I will stay for an hour or longer. And if we make $59 or less, then I'll be out of here at 9:30. So, and there were some people that were kind enough to help us with some things while we were away. Billy Sellers was one of those people. He donated, I think, about $40 to help out some families in need. You know what? Let me go into my PayPal account and see those that were helping while the shows were off, because I promised them I'd give them a shout out. And let me see if I can see who all did that. We don't want to miss anybody. Jeff Sanford made a nice donation for us of $65, and that was to help a family that needed help with multiple issues, and Jeff wanted to be the one to take care of that. So that problem has been solved, and Jeff was the sponsor for that particular problem. Let's see, BK Jellison, that person was watching the show, I think, for one of the first times, and they did make a $5 donation at the end of the show. You know what? Well, that was the only PayPal donation, was Jeff. Let me check Venmo. Seems like we had one or two donations come through on Venmo. So give me a check, because I want to give shout outs to everybody that did that. Give me a second here. Oh, that's my fingerprint. Live, I guess technically television, I guess. Are these donations? Oh, yeah. Well, we got a couple of donations that have come in here since I was mentioning that we didn't have any donations. On Venmo, we have Randy the Macho Man Satterley just made a $15 donation, so we appreciate that. And my sweet and dear friend, who also made a nice $50 donation several days ago, has donated another $25 tonight. So 25, 30, so that's 40. And then the 20, like I said, we're not going to get that till June the 21st. So I can't really count that for tonight's numbers, because we need about $130 to take care of all the problems that we're trying to deal with tonight for the families that are in need, including Ruby May with her medical, Art Gel with rice, Eunice's family with graduation stuff. Let me think. J9E said they are needing some food, and that's probably roughly about another $30. So it was J9E that was needing food. That's the ones that come to the top of my mind. I'm sure if I check my Facebook Messenger messages, that's where everybody gets in touch with me at. That's normally where we see it. So here we go. So yeah, so we got $40 total from Nicole and Randy the Macho Man. John Van Winkle donated $10 on Venmo the other night, and he also had a $58 donation that he did back on May the 2nd, and Nicole did her $50 donation on May the 2nd. So, and John Van Winkle did $10 again on May the 4th. And then May the 6th be with you. No, that was the 4th, wasn't it? Nicole and Randy. So, see, so those are the only two donations so far. Both of those came over on Venmo. And like I said, we're trying to raise about a total of $130. I usually get at 7. I usually get on at 7 if anyone wants to see it. How many shows have you done so far, Billy? Yeah, that's. I never go on that early. I'm just kind of stuck to 9 o'clock, especially in the summertime. Um, the summertime, we kind of wait for it to get dark, and then if people are indoors and want something to listen to, talk to, interact with, we're here 2, sometimes 3 nights a week to do that with. If I'm not sick, so I'm doing better now. My hip hurts like hell. I'm gonna have to go get that X-rayed in the next probably few days. It's not getting any better, that's for damn sure. Edge Copeland gave a shout out, says that he loves to watch the live shows because he likes to come in here and mess with me. So I don't know how often he watches the recorded shows, but he said he would be watching if he were not working tonight. So Edge Copeland is working. And let's see here. So I think I got everybody up to date that made donations while we were off to help out with families, basically based upon an email that I sent out that, hey, if you watch the show and you can be of any help, here's what our needs are, and for those of you that can help, and several of you stepped up, and we really appreciate that. I'm going to be going to have dinner. I got a podiatrist meeting. There you go. That's everybody's down here about that. Yeah, I got a podiatrist meeting on May the 8th in the afternoon, and then later that evening, I'm having dinner with my old friend that works for the CIA, or used to. He's retired from them now, and he's always telling the CIA stories. He worked for, God, I think he started under the Reagan administration, and he worked for 3 different presidents, including Bush and including Clinton. So he worked for those 3 presidents. And he's always got a lot of interesting stories. We graduated Oldham County High School together. And he is going to be purchasing an Anthony Scaramucci book from me, which we always use those to help us out for charity as well. So that will count on next week's donations. And that'll be a big help to us there starting next week. And I wrote Anthony Scaramucci and told him that a member of the CIA wanted to buy his book. And I said, well, not a current member. And he thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, Anthony was kind enough to send me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more books. 2 of them have already been spoken for. So I've got 5 more Anthony Scaramucci books. I sent something on PayPal. I think you're my first PayPal donation, but it has not come through my email yet. Let me check PayPal itself. I got 87 cents, but that's cash back on PayPal. You can't never argue with that. What do we got here? Something hit. It's not showing your name, though. Let me see if it hadn't come through my email yet either. That's weird. Go ahead and tell me here, Mr. Limley, what you sent. You're normally the king of the $15 donation, so I'm guessing 15. Because the numbers went up on PayPal, it just doesn't show who sent the money. That's strange. Let me see. It is still not showing me. I assume that was you, Mr. Limley. And I'm assuming that was a $15. Yeah. So we got a $15 donation from somebody. Does not show me who. I've never seen it do that before. That's weird. Maybe if I reset it, it'll show. There it is, Daniel Limley. Thank you, Daniel. So that takes us from 40 to 55. So we only need $5 more in the next 11 minutes to stay the bonus time. Billy says he sent an additional 25 on Cash App. So if so, that will get us into the hour. We'll be here for an hour thanks to that donation. Let me check. You said you sent that on Cash App? I don't have it yet, Billy. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't have it. Everything's moving a little slow tonight for some reason. I sent 25 on Cash App. Do you mean today, Billy? Yeah, let me check Cash App again. No, Billy, it's not showing up yet. Oh, well. Well, I guess it'll go through eventually, buddy. It hadn't gone through yet. I guess I'll get a notification when it does. But I can't count it till I see it. So double check your sent. And if you want to screenshot me a sent message, I might have to contact Cash App and ask them what the deal is. I'm also watching. Man, I quit watching the Knicks game the other night where they were down like 22, 23 points late in the third. The Knicks it was over. It was all over. The Knicks and Celtics. And I quit watching it. I said, well, shit, there's nothing to see here. And I was for the Knicks. I'm not a Celtics fan at all. Too many white guys. And so I quit watching it. And then I'm watching the Pat McAfee show the next day. And Pat McAfee keeps showing all these Knicks highlights. I did it when I got paid first of the month. Okay, well, I thought you meant today. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got that. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. No, I thought you said 25 today. Well, it's a good thing I didn't count it. And yeah, and it was 35. I've got that. Yeah, because that was the only one I saw in there. But I thought you meant you sent it today. So we're still at $55 right now for today's donations. I have to count Mr. Hacker's for next month because we will not get that money until June the 21st is when we'll get it. So we will count that for the month of June. But we won't forget him. We will add that to the tabulations. I had somebody that was going to help me out on the show tonight said he'd be 10 minutes late. Well, it's 22 minutes and he's not here. So I think he said he had to go to the hardware store. So let's see here. But yeah, Billy, we got that when I went to Cash App. That was the only thing that I saw. And then once again, there's Mr. Hacker. He did $23. He did Dean, did you have any questions that you wanted me to answer or anything for your donation? And we need $5 more to stay beyond the next 7 minutes. And yeah, we got that, Billy. And glad you got your podcast done there for the first time. I know you got your equipment and everything. Plus, you did one with me there for a few minutes the other day. So we appreciated having you on. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And for those of you that still have your moms, my mother passed away January the 5th of 2018. And I do miss her all the time. We had a lot of fun together, a lot of laughs. What do you think of the Dark Side? I never watch them because normally Cornette's on there lying his fucking ass off about a bunch of shit. He knows damn well I know he's lying. I guess his marks don't. But he's on so many of them, I don't care to see them. But someone did send me a clip of Russo mentioning me on the Dark Side. And of course, it was the same show Cornette was on, to where they were going back and forth interviewing Russo and Cornette about when I told Russo to take out an EPO on Jimmy. Jimmy didn't believe I did it. So I finally had to call Jimmy that night and tell him when he got served, I said, he says, people were telling me that you did this. I said, I didn't do it, but I told him to do it. Well, why would you do that? And he said, you didn't do that. You're just trying to take credit for it. I said, no, I did it. And here's the reason why. I said, number one, I don't want you killing Vince Russo. Vince Russo is a friend of mine. I don't want you hiring somebody to kill Vince Russo, because if you hire somebody to kill him, you're just as guilty as the person that kills him. Your ass will fucking go to prison. I know you thought you had a foolproof plan, but only a fool would think that. So I had two reasons to do it. I didn't want Russo being killed by some stupid fucking mark, and I didn't want you going to prison. So I figured this was the best way to do it. And he still didn't believe I did it. So he sent Stacy over here, Sin, or whatever y'all know her as, to investigate to see if I really did it. And when I sat her down and it said, yeah, I did it, and here's why. I didn't file the EPO because I can't. The life-threatening shit wasn't on me. It was on him. And Jimmy had gone on his podcast and stated that he wanted Russo dead. And if it was the last thing he ever did, he'd make sure Russo got killed or something. So it wasn't any big secret. And but I told Russo, yes, it's time to take him seriously. He's now got marks offering to kill you in Evansville. They live in Evansville where you live, or at least he lived then. And I explained to Vince You got to do something to protect yourself. Because he kept telling me, well, I'm going to get me a gun. And my brother's got a gun. And I said, yeah, I get it. You got to protect yourself, but you got to have paperwork. You got to lay the paperwork to explain why you're protecting yourself. And if Jimmy or if some Mark is stupid enough to come to your property to threaten to kill you, then whatever happens, happens. If it happens to Jimmy, if it happens to the Mark, because I knew who the Mark was, some guy that Jimmy knew from a pizza place. And he offered to kill Vince Russo for Jimmy. And then Jimmy thought he had a plan to get out of it. And it was a stupid fucking plan. It was not going to work. And nor would I help him even, obviously. So I felt I did him a huge favor. But he got over it. You know, he got over it. And then, of course, he sells the copies of the EPO, which is a federal crime. You cannot sell copies of an EPO. But he did. So, and then claimed he was doing it for charity. And then later had to admit that they only got 40% of the money. He kept 60%. So, guess he needed the money. And Russo could have had him put in prison then. And he didn't do it. So, y'all can think about what Russo about whatever you want. 10 times better man than Jimmy and a lot of other people ever hoped to be. He has wanted to patch things up with Jimmy forever. He's wanted to sit down, have a meeting with him, broadcast a thing on a pay-per-view where all the money goes to the charity of Jimmy's choice. But Jimmy explained to me, my marks will turn on me if I patch things up with Russo. They thrive and they live on the hatred of Vince Russo. We got 3 more minutes for me to make $5 more. And I got to be strict with that rule because we don't come on here for the fun of it. I don't anyway. Can y'all tell I'm having a blast? I am not getting my email notifications on donations at all. But I think I just saw something come through on Venmo, so let me look. TC from the NC has donated. All 3 donations have come through on Venmo tonight, other than Daniel Lemley's $15 donation. So that takes us. So that gets us. Tyler Cox just bought you all another 30 minutes. And thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Randy Satterley. Thank you, TC, and thank you, Daniel Lemley. Those are the 4 donations we've gotten so far tonight. And like I said, if anybody else is out there that can help us out to get the other $70 we need, that would be great. Doesn't take one of you. It could be 3 of you, 4 of you, 5 of you. And I know me and Bob are doing our fair share and then some. So, yeah, if you make a donation, you'll have to tell me because I am not getting email notifications for some reason. Let me see if my iPhone's giving me the notifications. Because my Google phone is not. Yeah, there it is. Tyler made a donation. Yeah, that shows up. You received $15 from Daniel Lemley. Now it's not showing me Nicole's for some reason. Even though I'm sitting there looking at Nicole's donation. All right. Trying to find how to check my mail here. Bear with me. And keep your questions coming for those of you that donated. Jambi, I got some help from us recently. Plus, Jambi got her a job. Congratulations on your job, Jambi. You look great in your red and green uniforms. Looks very nice. Where the hell is my email on my iPhone? You think that would be easy enough to find, wouldn't you? There it is. All right. Yeah, let me see if the iPhone's getting. No, they're not getting it either. So this must be a MSN or a Google thing that I'm not getting the notifications of the donations because the iPhone ain't getting it either. So if you make a donation, let me know here. We're 70 shy of our total goal. We've got 65 in the house so far. So yeah, we're 65. I'm trying to do the math here. I guess we're 65 shy then. So we're 65 shy of our total goal to help all the families that are needing help tonight. And let's see how it goes. So yeah, so that's why I don't really watch the Dark Side episodes, but I did get sent clips on the Vince Russo story, and he mentions my name. I don't know that Jimmy did, um, but supposedly Jimmy mentioned me on the drive-through the other day about me having an assistant named Kryptonite Crony, and he was part of the Round Mound of Sounds stable called Bolin Services, and supposedly he was nice about it, which shocks me. Like I said, I would reach out to Jimmy. Well, I have reached out to Jimmy, but Jimmy would have to admit that he's done some wrong things, um, that he needs to fucking get over himself. And 50 to 100 of my friends have not turned on me. I've gotten rid of a lot of trolls that troll this show that have done racist shit, homophobic shit, or try to take over a show for the sake of attention. I've gotten rid of some of those. But there must be 50 to 100 people in the wrestling business that don't speak to Jimmy anymore over wrestling philosophy, the Chris Jerichos, the Matt Hardys, the Jim Rosses, various other people. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe him and Ross patch things up. I don't know. Who knows? Can't concern myself too much about it. But when you can never admit that you've done wrong, it's hard to patch things up with certain people. And he just won't. You know, I told him back when we were friends, he's more like Donald Trump than Donald Trump is. Tell me when you ever heard Donald Trump admit he did anything wrong. Still won't do it. Most of you out there can only have $2 and 5 pencils for Christmas, but hey. Let's see here. Jelly Bean's mother's in here. How you doing? And oh, by the way, I do have to say goodbye to Facebook though, because they were only supposed to be on 10 minutes because no one on Facebook ever donates. So if you want to watch the show, you do have to go to YouTube to be able to watch the show. Facebook was supposed to have gone away. I thought I was going to have some help in here tonight. That was going to be 10 minutes late. That didn't hold up. So yeah, I do have to say goodbye to Facebook. But thanks to all of you, especially our Filipino friends that dropped in on Facebook to say hi to us. And is that how I do it? I guess. About to find out. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All righty. So yeah, we had to say goodbye to Facebook. And well, Billy, I assume you want peace. I haven't heard Jimmy talk about you. Well, no, he's well, he's not going to talk about me anywhere because he knows what I know. And so no, he's not going to do that. And he threatened to sue me, or at least his attorney did. And we said, fine, we're not talking about anything that we can't prove. We have the subpoena power if you want to sue us. And we have people willing to come to court to back up what we have to say. Do you really want to do that? I have recordings to back up things that you've said. Do you really? And I've never played them. I've got them, but I've never played them. And I guarantee you, even if those recordings were released and the people came forward and testified about certain things, it's like Trump. Most of his base would never leave him, or just not believe the people that came forward. So, so I don't worry about that. But I would still try to figure out a way to fix things with him if he could just admit the wrong shit he's done and the people that he's wronged. But he ain't gonna do that. So there you go. Do you watch? If you do, what wrestling shows? Yeah, I watch. I watched. I'm up to the main event on Monday Night Raw. I have not watched the Jey Uso match yet. I got up there. Oh, and exactly 10 minutes late. Exactly. I'll let him let himself in when he's ready. I guess he has the power to do
Hey, 10 minutes, 30 minutes.
10 minutes exactly, or 35. Yeah.
Say his name and he will appear, right?
I'm getting an echo though. What have we got going on over there?
Son of a bitch. Hang on.
All right. And it sounds like you got a box fan on your desk.
That I do. Hang on. Turn off, son of a bitch.
Accountability. Well, I as a Jana, you know that as well as I do.
How's that sound?
Let me hear again.
How's that sound?
Okay. Well, I think we need to listen to see if I'm hearing my voice. I think the echo's gone, and I'm not hearing that 404 circular buzzsaw running on your desk. So,
thing is, it's only this big too.
Really? God damn it! Wow. Well,
it has 8 levels of strength.
I got 8 levels of strength in that thing.
Yep.
Oh, more than I got. More than I got. Jazzy Jana from Louisiana is in here chatting with us tonight.
Hey, Jana.
And but no, Jimmy and the reason Jimmy and I quit speaking, everybody thinks it's over the EPO or the fact that me and Russo were friends. That had nothing to do with it. The thing that ended the friendship, that was the nail in the coffin, was the day that Jimmy kept calling me and interrupting a podcast I was on with Russo, and he kept calling, and I kept not taking the call. And he kept calling, and I said, well, he's just going to keep fucking calling. So I guess, so I answered the phone, and I said, hey, don't say anything. I'm doing a podcast right now, and I'm busy, but I will call you back when I'm done. Hey, real quick, how many lies have you told today? I said, well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I've really told many, if any, yet. Well, I did, and he kept telling the lies he was telling to get out of doing shit for people. And this is going on the air on Russo's show. And I said, well, this is probably not the time that you want to talk about that. I said, like I said, I'm doing a podcast right now. Whose podcast you doing? I said, well, it's neither here nor there, but, I got to go. I got to go. And Russo's sitting there dying. And I said, well, I got to go. I said, I'll call you when the show's over. I said, good day, Jimmy. So I say good day, and then I just hang my head and look at Russo going, God, he's going to be pissed. Was that Jimmy Cornette on my show?
Bro.
Yeah, that was him. Jimmy Cornette's voice was on the Vince Russo show. I didn't know I could do Russo that good. I said, yeah. So I laid my head down, and I'm just sick. And he said, oh my God. And it's a recorded show. A bucket full of chicken necks, and we do them in the mornings. And then about 2 hours after the show was over, Jimmy called me. And then asked me, were you doing Russo's show? I said, yeah. And he says, let me guess, my voice was on Russo's show. I said, yeah. I said, I told you not to call. And I said, I tried not to answer your calls, and you kept calling. I said, so it was either me answer the phone and tell you to shut up and not say anything, or you were going to keep calling. I said, you gave me no choice. I said, I told you not to say anything. You ran your mouth anyway. You motherfucker. God damn it. I'm on fucking Russo's show. He's going to play the fuck out of that. God damn, man, I'm fucking ruined. I'm fucking ruined. They're going to fucking laugh at me. I said, no, Jimmy. I said, they're not going to laugh at you. They're going to just think you have stupid fucking timing. So Jimmy loses his fucking mind, and we don't even really end our friendship there. He just hangs up on me. And I told myself he'll never call again. He's fucking lost his mind. He's furious. Whatever. So Russo calls me about an hour after that. And he says, bro, I just want to let you know, man, I don't want to do anything to cause harm with your and Jimmy's friendship. I'm not going to play Jimmy's voice on the show. I won't even acknowledge that he called. And he says, but I am going to ask you of one favor. I said, what's that? And he says, can I play the part where you lay your head down on the desk and you look like you're about to throw up? I said, I don't care. I don't care. I said, it's your show. I said, you can play his damn voice for all I give a shit. I said, he's already called here and lost his fucking mind. I said, I'll never hear from him again. And he says, really? He lost his fucking mind over that. He said, he doesn't even wait to see if I'm going to play it or not. I said, no, he doesn't. I said, you've offered to reach out to him and patch things up, and he won't do it because the marks will get mad at him. And some of them would. Some of them would be upset that Jimmy patched things up with him because they wouldn't have anything to bitch about no more.
But he gained new marks.
And not the marks he wants. He wants the marks that are gullible, stupid, and will give him money. Those are the ones he wants. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Speaking of, we are $65 short of our total goal. I do not like Tyler Cox anymore because Jaded Entertainment with $15, so we're now $50 short. We were 65. We're $50 short of our total goal to get to 130 to take care of all the families that are needing a little bit of help. And so what did I say? We're short 50 even.
50 even.
So that's $5 $10 donations over the next 20 minutes. That's not so bad. Surely we got 5 people out there. We got $10, and that'll get us exactly where we need to be. And I'm not asking you to reimburse me and Bob for what we've done for Jelly Bean and my friend in Istanbul. That's on us. Jelly Bean is kind of Bob's project, and the young lady in Istanbul, you all don't know her. I don't know if she's ever commented
That's not
on
the one you showed like a couple of years ago.
Yila's, yeah, the one that everybody had a fit over, couldn't get over how young she looked, and she's in her early 30s now.
Yeah, she's in her 30s or something.
Early to mid 30s, and she's got a sister that's older than she is. It looks like she's about 15 or 16. Something in the water in Istanbul that ain't adding up. And yeah, but Yila's has looked the same since I've known her since she was about 18, 19 years old, and met her because she was a Cena fan in Istanbul, Turkey. And then my son goes over there to visit, and they met up and became dear friends. And she was more or less his tour guide for about 6 months. So let's see.
So is Cena heel over in the Philippines yet?
He's heel over there, but I'm not hearing the hatred for him over there that I hear here.
Well, I was just saying how they get like 15-year-old SmackDown episodes.
No, it's not so much they're getting 15-year-old SmackDown episodes, is that SmackDown, the people that were in charge of running it, were inserting our OVW footage. It's like when Rhea Ripley and who's the other Australian that I don't really like.
Paul RJ?
No. It's in the WWE. No, I do not like Paul RJ.
Is it a woman or a man?
By the way, the dumb fuck is with the one that the other dumb fuck said this guy's going to be the face of the company, and it obviously never happened. And now
Grayson Waller, whatever.
Grayson Waller. How can I forget a name that sounds like Jerry Lawler? How do I forget that name? So I got a bunch of fan mail from Australia on Twitter and some on Facebook saying, Kenny, you were on our television show down here today, and in various ways of telling me. And you were in a segment with Grayson Waller. And I'm going, so I'm thinking to myself, he has heard me talk shit about him. Someone has informed him that I'm seeing his former manager, because I have been very vocal about how useless I think Grayson Waller, and who's his partner? Who's the guy that I never cared for?
A-Town Down.
Is that
starts with an A? Oh man, why don't I know this?
That tells you how meaningless he is that neither of us can.
I remember his theme song before I remember his
down. Somebody help us out. What's that dumb fucker's name?
Okay.
We come up with Jason Waller, but we can't think of
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, yeah, because remember we had one idiot came in here on this show, some moron from California who thinks he apparently knows something about wrestling, and he said that Austin Theory was the next John Cena. He said this 2 or 3 years ago, and was going to be the face of the company. And I immediately said, no, I managed John Cena. I manage the face of the company. I know a face of the company when I see one, and he ain't it. Now, to slap myself in the face, I said the same thing about Jey Uso. I wanted both the Usos released. I thought they were
every once in a while, some shit just goes wrong.
Every once in a while, something sticks. And now is Uso worthy of being he's hot now. But then again, so has the guy that says, what's his name?
Oh, L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight. Boy, I must not have took my Predigen
I was
last
just
year.
about to ask you, take your pill day.
Yeah, I better get back on the Predigen because a lot of shit ain't coming to me tonight.
I kind of like L.A. Knight because he reminds me of a hybrid of
I love
Rock.
L.A. Knight. I love
Mhm.
L.A. Knight. But they had him to the peak of the game not long ago, and that's when a trigger should have been pulled. And so now that they have pulled the trigger on Jey Uso, and they're saying he doesn't look like a champion, he doesn't act like a champion, this, that, and the other, the fans disagreed. And because I agreed with all those things. And Roman Reigns looks like a champion, acts like a champion, but there was a time nobody wanted Roman Reigns on the company. Now,
It was
Dean
just like
Hacker,
The Rock. They shoved him down the
what
throat.
we got to do to get you to drop $3 to get a membership? What we got to do about that? Membership be nice.
Did you actually watch the title match at WrestleMania with Jay and Gunther?
I did. Yeah.
You did not?
I did. No, I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Why did he tap to a sleeper?
A lot of us are trying to figure that one out. A lot of us
that just made no sense. And then rolled out of the ring.
The revenge, the talk, the build-up, and this is where they fucked it up. If you were going to have blood in a match at WrestleMania, that was the one.
Right.
Because all Jay talked about was getting revenge for his brother, Jimmy. Do I have my Usos right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All he talked about was revenge, blood and guts, this, that, and the other. And then he taps to a fucking sleeper, and there's not even as much as a snug punch thrown during the whole fucking match, hardly.
Mm-hmm.
So they sell you one bill of goods and then switch it out and give you something for 30 or 70% off when you paid full price.
You know, to be honest, that title just doesn't do it for me. Whoever has it, I don't feel like they're actually a world champion.
Well, the title to me doesn't have anything to do with it. It's how do you portray the title and how do you sell the title? I mean, Honky Tonk Man made the Intercontinental Championship the most important belt in the fucking world.
That's true.
Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. That is not easy to do with the Intercontinental Championship. Honky Tonk made it mean something. Now, do remember, Honky Tonk and myself do not politically line up at all. But regardless, if somebody is good at something, I don't mind stating it. Undertaker's very good at what he was hired to do. I don't know about raving about Michelle McCool calling her the face of the women's division. That's a fucking lie.
Is that what everybody said?
That's what he said.
Oh, of course.
During the Hall of Fame speech. There wouldn't be a women's
like 3 years.
There wouldn't be a women's division without Michelle McCool. Well, yeah, it'd probably been a lot better.
Probably
been a lot better. You got Molly Holly back there and Ivory and the countless great women, Lisa Marie, who worked here.
I can't. Victoria.
Victoria. Yeah, she's had a few names.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I saw the match. Now I have not seen, and don't ruin the finish for me in case anyone in here knows. I've watched all of Monday Night Raw. Loved the match with Io Sky, and who's the Mexican girl?
Rosa Perez.
Oh, I love Rosa
Roxanne
Perez.
Perez.
Roxanne Perez. She is so good.
She is.
To be so young, she is very good. And she even got me. I got worked when she shook her hand at the end and gave her the bow and was heading out of the ring. I did not see the other girl running in to do the attack. So they got me on that one. I'm going, that's pretty good. If you get me.
A few Raws to catch up on, to be honest.
Yeah, if you get me, then you've done pretty good. I'm doing my podcast show now. Well, you better not be doing it now because you're in the chat room with us.
You talking about right now or now as in you got it going?
He said he did one tonight. I think he said he did one at 7:00, and I had him on the show the other day. And I want you to know we raised a grand total of $150 the night Billy was on. Because people were
doing your link up there.
They wanted to see Billy on the show. Yeah.
Hey, throw the link up.
They wanted to show Billy.
And while you're throwing links up, I'm back tomorrow, so make sure you go to @JadedZen, @/JadedZen. Why did they do the slash shit? It used to be @.
I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet either.
@/JadedZen tomorrow.
I do want to point out that Bob Hazelwood, who created my beautiful Bolin Services flag, as y'all have seen from those of you that I've sent pictures of my porch, I've got 3 BS flags hanging up. Well, I'm a huge Macklemore fan, and the album The Heist and the song Can't Hold Us there's a section in the 7-minute version of the video to where Macklemore hangs a flag on the Space Needle in Seattle that says the heist. And it's got the heist in black where the stars would be. And then it's black and white wavy stripes. So I saw that flag, and I really loved the logo that Bob enhanced. The logo used to be closer to looking like the Battle Royale logo, and Bob made it a little bigger, a little bolder, not so much detail that is in the original logo that we used to have that we used on television. So I like Bob's version better for me, for what I'm doing. So when we formed the 501c3 and became a nonprofit organization, I was asking some people, well, what should we call the company? And my son was the first to say, Bolin Services, Survival Program. And one person out of everybody that heard that thought that that was a bad name by calling it Survival Program. They thought it was insulting to the Filipinos. I said, no, it's complimentary to the Filipinos because we are raising money for what reason? To help them survive. Many of them say that if we didn't help them with their water bills, their electric bills, rice, eggs, noodles, the various school supplies, help them with college. We've got my sweet little friend, Honey Rose. She is a junior in college this year. And she's another one I forgot to mention tonight. She needs $40 to help her with her graduation fees so that she can go from a junior to a senior here starting in like a month or two. Graduation date May the 23rd. May the 23rd is Maya's birthday, in case you want to give her a shout out for her birthday, Maya, on May 23rd. So I told Honey Rose, who needs $40 for that between now and the 23rd, we'll do everything we can to raise the $40 for tuition fees because it's all her parents can do to keep her in college as it is now. And that's what this show does, is we try to help and make things a little better, a little easier. What do we got here? Let's see. Trent Adam with $2. What's that saying? You and Jim need to talk more. Well, that ain't going to happen. And yeah, a lot of people did. Trent, you could have done more than $2. We're trying to help people here. But he wanted his question read, and he knew the trick. So let's see. Maya is my birthday twin. Mine is the 20. Oh, Jazz, that's close. Yeah, I didn't realize y'all were that close. Well, Honey Rose's birthday is May the 10th, coming up in just a few days, and I already sent her a little bit of a birthday gift. She wanted to have spaghetti. She's been trying to gain weight. She was down to 70 pounds at one time. We've got her up to 85 pounds now. Trying to get her to eat carbs. 70 pounds on a 4'10" frame is still not very many pounds. She's 4'10", 4'11", something like that. So we're trying to put some meat on her bones. So we bought her a bunch of spaghetti and try and fatten her up a little bit. We're trying to get her to 95 pounds, which I think would be a much healthier weight. There you go. We appreciate that. Well, we can add that to the Dean Hacker money. And so we got 23 from Dean, too. So there's 7. So that gets us the $30 even in here for tonight that will go into the June money that we'll get June the 21st. So thank you, Trent. Now, what is come on, man. I was seriously funner than 99% of anything I've heard. No. We were. It was funnier. Yeah. Oh, no, it was. No, I'll be the first to agree with you. No. Jimmy and I were one hell of a comedy team because we knew how to play off each other. We still would be. Jimmy and I haven't spoken in 7 years. If we were to do a podcast tomorrow, either he was over here doing video, God forbid, or doing audio over there on his show, we would still steal the podcast world because we could just walk right into it and we could just act like nothing had never happened. Remember the dream sequence on, was it Seinfeld or Dallas or whatever it was? And then I think Seinfeld had a playoff from it. But we could still do that tomorrow. We could, and it would be one of the funnier podcasts going. And then when we give each other shit, that's pretty entertaining too. A lot of times the shit we'd say to each other was the god awful truth, especially on him. And but the fans wouldn't know. Coltrane, I don't think your audio is working. Nope, no, I don't have any sound from you. You're not muted. Must be a connection issue. Yeah, you're not muted. So if we can figure out what's got you muted over there. So no, Trent, and thank you for the $7 donation.
How about now?
There you go. Your sounds. I don't know what you did.
It was delayed because it said you're muted like
Really?
5 seconds after you said that. So
no, yeah, because over here it did not show you as muted. So
yeah, I think the system was slow today.
Let me see if we got any other donations in. What did I say? We were 50 short, right?
50, and then there was 7. So
well, we're not $50.
Oh, those are super chats, right? So
those were super chats. Yeah, those were super chats. Yeah, those will count for June because we can't use that money yet.
Did you say anything about $17 somewhere?
Did I say anything about $17?
Yeah, I thought I heard something about $17.
We're exactly $50 short, or at least we were till seconds ago. And Jazzy Jana from Louisiana has cut that in half. Jazzy Jana just made a $25 donation.
Ooh, Jana.
So we are Reddit.
Jana, do you have your Facebook back yet? I know you got hacked.
I don't think she does. I have to communicate with her on her cell phone. And for those of you wanting Jazzy Jana's cell phone number, it is. No, I'm not doing that, y'all.
Remember when Mr. Cena was panicking, thinking that you were going to get Mark Henry's number out?
Because then Jazzy Jana can give you my number. Okay, now the echo's back.
Oh, shit. Hang on.
We're gonna have to check into his equipment over there and see what's going on. Let's see here. So yeah, we're $25 short. Technically, we're only supposed to be here 3 minutes. So why don't we stay till 10:15? That gives us almost 20 minutes to see if we can raise Billy Sellers with $2.
Do it, Billy.
Well, Billy, again, that doesn't help us till June. And you have other ways to donate.
Through PayPal, my man. Through PayPal.
Yeah, PayPal or Cash App or Venmo, whatever you got. But no, and we appreciate it. That gets us the $32 that was donated in here. But we don't, that $32 we will get June the 21st, and PayPal will, not PayPal, but YouTube will take 30% of it. So 32 minus 30%, we get about 20. We get about $20. So,
all right, Jana, get in touch with me. I'll help you promote that.
Not yet, Coach Ring. Hoping to get back. Bad timing, especially since I need to promote my sister's. Oh, your sister's got a book coming out. Well, speaking of books, not to bury anybody else's book or anything,
but I'm going to.
I'd never do. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm planning a special show coming up, and it's a real book. So a lot of people think that I just come up with a cover, and I don't even really have a book. They don't even bother to look on Amazon or anything, and look to see that this was a New York Times bestseller at one point.
Oh, mine's right somewhere.
But the 10-year anniversary of this book being released, and I sold a few more this week. I had some our sponsors were wanting to buy them, and then they tell people about, hey, Kenny signed a book for me, this, that, and the other, and then they meet friends that want to buy the book. So that has come in handy. But the 10-year anniversary of my book, I Probably Screwed You Too, the mostly true stories of Kenny Starmaker Bolin. The 10-year anniversary is July the 15th. July 15th. And
just to prove it is real, I got my copy right here.
You got your copy right there. You certainly do. Yep. And also, Anthony Scaramucci was kind enough to send me 7 more books.
Oh,
wow. Now, Unsigned, his book. Yeah, you got one too, don't you?
I do.
Unsigned, this book is $35 on Amazon. Right, look at that. Look at that.
Boom.
Unsigned, this book is $35 on Amazon. Signed, he wanted us to get $60. We make it $59 to make it
real
sound
signature
better.
too, ink and everything.
What have I got? Yeah, there we go. Got it right there. And but yeah, he sent me 7 more books because we had a few more requests for them. I'm having dinner with a friend of mine from the CIA who graduated Oldham County High School with me.
Nice.
And he worked under the Reagan, Clinton, and Bush administrations. And he found out I had the Anthony Scaramucci book, and he's buying one tomorrow. I'm sorry, the 8th. We're meeting at a Mexican restaurant. We'll leave it at that. Can't say which one because then the marks will start showing up. To meet the guy from the CIA. So, but yeah, there's me, my son, and my friend Tim from the CIA, and Cam Moron. We're all getting together at a Mexican restaurant here in Louisville, and going to be going over there and trading a bunch of old stories. And he's getting Anthony Scaramucci's book. So I told Anthony today that he's got a member of the CIA buying a copy of his book. He thought that was pretty cool. And and then we'll do something special on this show for the 10-year anniversary of my book. I've wanted to write a second book. And the title of it was going to be How I Lost 280 Pounds of Ugly Fat. How I got rid of Jim Cornette as my friend.
I knew that's where you're going.
And the guy that the kind of a similar story to this, I probably screwed you to the mostly true stories of Kenny Starmaker Bolin. Kenny Starmaker Bolin, How I Lost 280 Pounds of Ugly Fat, and then in captions, How I Got Rid of Jim Cornette as my friend. Now he don't weigh 280 anymore from what I've seen. He's been eating a very healthy diet.
About 240.
He hasn't, maybe even like, I think he claimed he got down around 215.
Really?
That's what he's saying. He could have gained some more. I don't know. But he hasn't discovered the problem of the hairline yet. That one seems to have defeated him.
Oh, man. Cy Sperling is still around, isn't he?
A 5 head. I tell you who had some major work done on his head. And I didn't. You know that piece of shit, Elon Musk?
Yes. I saw that shit.
Man, I saw his original hairline from a few years ago. And my God. Wasn't anything subtle or anything, was it? You remember when Stephen Miller was trying to get hair shit done with him, and he was more or less drawing hair on his head? I mean, it was ridiculous.
Who's the other? Jeremy Pivens. Remember, he was balding on the Ellen show.
Jeremy
Pivens. He plays the dickhead on Entourage, the dickhead agent.
You know, believe it or not, I don't think I've watched much Entourage.
I've never watched it in my life, but I know who he is. But
I don't know that I've seen it either.
Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, we got Club Coltrane in here. There it is. There's the club.
Yeah, the name changes ever so often.
It does.
Trying to see what catches on.
And thank you for the $2 there, Billy.
Billy boy.
So how short? We're $25 short, right? Yeah. We're $25 short of our total goal, and so 2 10s and a 5, and we're there, guys. I'm looking to see if anyone else has done anything here, and I've agreed to stay till 10:15. We'll bonus time there to give us a chance to make it.
All right.
So we're just
subscribe to you, bro.
There you go.
Better entertain me.
Yeah, that's all we ask, right? Let me go to the Google phone because I'm having trouble finding it on my phone. The Google phone is normally a little easier.
To the bat phone.
Nope. We're $25 shy. We have no other donations. We need a 5 and a couple of 10s.
Come on, people. This is the greatest nation in the world. Donation. Do it.
That's what donation. The greatest nation in the world. So that's how short we are. That's what we need to be able to get everybody taken care of tonight.
Now, you know the greatest city in the world?
No,
generosity. Give.
My horse came in second in the Derby. We haven't talked about the Derby yet. My horse, I always take the 8 horse every year. Well, to my defense, the 8 horse was the favorite this year. That doesn't happen very often. And there we go. That doesn't happen very often, but the 8 horse was the favorite. And then when I was at Royals Chicken, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We got Arby's, which I will be visiting again next week. Arby's treated me real good last week after I got out of my 4-hour doctor's consultation.
I went there last week as well.
Did you really? What'd you get?
I went there twice. First time I got the gyro. The turkey gyro.
Yeah, I got the gyro. They set me up real good when I go there, and I got the double gyro. My son got 2 double gyros,
Oh, wow.
and I got the Disco Inferno special, the double meat turkey breast sandwich.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds good. You know, I got
8 grams of protein in that double sandwich. So I eat half of that sandwich while I'm there. And then maybe later that night I'll have the other. And if not, I'll eat it the next day. And then the next day I'll have a gyro. And I normally get 2 meals out of that. And then sometimes they send me home with the original version of it was the Big Montana.
Yeah,
and it's a half pound roast beef and cheddar. It's a half pound.
Yeah.
So, but now they call it something else, but I know it is the Big Montana. Sometimes they'll send me home with one of those, and I get like 3 meals out of that damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
At least
the potato cakes.
Oh, and yeah, they sent me home with an order of potato cakes. I just had
love
those.
And you know, I dip those in the Bronco berry sauce.
I dip those in Royals. I dip those in Royals tartar sauce. And by the way, Royals, who is now keeping the Nashville hot fish thanks to the promotion on this show. And every time I go there, we eat outside. And when people walk by and they're looking at us, have you tried the Nashville hot fish? Get in there and try you some Nashville hot. And a lot of people go in and order the Nashville hot fish. And apparently it has caught on pretty good. Well, Dean is trying to get us set up good for June. So that gets us to $36 for the month of June. Wow. But this is more than so. No, we appreciate it. Thank you, Dean. Dean, do you have a question to go along with your $5 donation? And we're here we're trying to make $25 more over the next 8 minutes.
Dean dancing machine. Come on.
I have not done the pulled pork sandwich or the brisket yet, Billy, but that is on my list for the future. And by the way, y'all are going to have to hear about this sooner or later. I don't know that I'm going through. I haven't made a 100% decision yet. I got to pick up my vitamins and everything tomorrow. Surgery had been rescheduled till May the 21st. It originally was going to be the 28th. After doing the 4-hour class, meeting 2 people who had the surgery done that I'm going to get done, even though their technology has advanced quite a bit since then. I don't know that I'm going to go through with it because at the age of 65, the lifetime adjustments I have to make with vitamin B12 shots every month, specific calcium vitamins I have to take, other specific multivitamins I have to take that are $30 a month for this vitamin, 30 a month for that vitamin, 35 for this protein thing. I mean, they kind of $35 fucking you to death.
Oh yeah.
And but it's not so much the money as it is the risk of internal bleeding. Now, the odds are low, but the bad thing is if it happens, you almost don't know till it's too late. And I said, well, how do I know if I have internal bleeding? How do I know? Oh, well, your heart rate's going to go up. Your blood pressure is going to go up. You might pass out. I said, well, fuck. I said, well, could I wake up dead? And they said, no, if you start feeling these things, you need to call the meat wagon. Yeah, I don't know that I really want to do that I want to call it. So what I think I'm going to do is because I've lost 44 pounds on the liquid diet because I'd gotten way back up there. I've lost 44 pounds on the liquid diet over about the past 30, 40 days. So what I'm thinking of doing is sticking to the protein shakes. No, I don't think it's going to get me to 290 where I wanted to get. But if I can get back down to 350 or so, and I've even had people talk to me about maybe trying Wegovy. They said Wegovy is very good if you're trying to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds.
Wegovy?
So I might lose, I think it's called Wegovy.
Is that a shot or some shit?
It is a shot. I see it advertised on it, but it can be expensive, but I might qualify for it. So we're going to look into it and go from there. And but I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on the surgery or not. Not that I'm scared of the surgery. Fuck, I did the other one. It wasn't that big a deal. It's just the possibility of things going bad. Anytime you get put to sleep, there's always the possibility of things going bad. That's just, I am 65, not, the last one I had was 6 years ago. And and the other thing is the possible development of blood clots, which even Rico goes through in the shape he's in. He thought he had blood clots. I guess he did the Indianapolis show, but he thought he was going to have to cancel it because of blood clots. But the way to avoid the blood clots is to stay on your blood thinners. No problem. I've been on those for a long goddamn time. But you have to do a lot of walking, and it's very important that even after surgery, they wake you up at 3:00 in the morning at the hospital to make you go walk as far as you can go. Well, my knees, my back, and my hip are so bad, I can't walk far. So now I run the exercise. So I knew I had a real reason that I was wanting to maybe not do this. Is I don't think I can walk enough to avoid the high risk of blood clots after surgery. If I only had to take my blood thinners and the problem went away, that would be fine. I'd probably still go ahead and do the surgery.
Don't they have those machines that massage your legs up and down?
They put those on you while you're doing the surgery, but they do not send them home with you, and that doesn't matter. That just helps you through the surgery. They want you walking and exercising. And my knees, my back, and my hip, especially my hip right now, the pain I've been in, will not let that happen. So, well, I'm glad to be alive too, Billy, for now. So it looks like I might try.
Any worry about recovery, then it's not worth it.
Yeah. So the recovery is the scary part, and especially if I don't think that I talked about it with my son, and he said he agreed. He says if you can't do all the things necessary to avoid going back into the hospital. Hey, sweet lady, I'm just sitting here doing my podcast, about to wrap it up here in a few minutes, trying to raise some money to help my Filipino friends, and I'll be in touch with you as soon as the show's over. Period. Be safe, sweet lady. That is Queen Jasmine checking in on us.
Jasmine.
The Queen. Coltrane, if I can, I'm going to send you a picture. I'm very proud of Jambi. Jambi was watching the show earlier. Mm-hmm. I just sent it to the Starmaker account. Jambi is working now. She doesn't make much money. And I'm going to send you a picture of her. And do I have a picture of her in her green uniform? Yeah, I do. Here it is. I'm going to send you this one. Well, they're going to the Starmaker account. But Jambi is doing some work. They only pay her a couple of hundred pesos a day.
Oh, wow.
But it's something. You know, it's something.
She looks great.
Yeah, and that's her green uniform. And let me see if I can find the red uniform. I hadn't seen all these green uniform pictures. Little Jambi. And I told her I was very proud of her that, she got out there and she has to pay a little bit for people to watch her kids. And she's trying to take care of those mama dog and the 7 puppies. I've sent a fair amount of money over there to try. Oh, that was the other project I want to do. We're not going to worry about it tonight because we're about ready to wrap up the show anyway. But Jambi has a couple of kids, and here's her in the red uniform. I'll send that one. Jambi has a couple of kids, a mother and a sister that wash all their clothes by hand.
She's a cutie.
That is a pain in the ass. My sweet friend, little Queen Jasmine, washes their clothes by hand. And she was wondering how I wash my clothes. She assumed we did the same thing. I said, no, honey, we have washing machines and laundromats and dryers. And because I told her that a 38-year-old woman does my laundry for me, I pay her to do it. And she said, wasn't that a little old to be doing laundry? But she was talking about how it can hurt your hips, your knees, your back, because it's so difficult to do laundry over there. And
is that the one that was doing it on the rock down by the river or some shit?
No, that was my ex-girlfriend, Lena, that was washing her clothes in the river. And that was from several years ago.
Who did we buy the chair for?
Pardon?
Who did we buy the chair for?
We bought the chair for Ruby May.
Okay.
Ruby May was washing dishes sitting on a rock.
Dishes is what. Okay,
yeah. Back when she was 13, she'll be 16 in November. That tells you how long that's been.
Damn.
So yeah, but Ruby's in the hospital right now. She's having, I think, asthma problems. So she was one of the people we were trying to help tonight. We still need to raise $25 more. Technically, time has ran out, but I'm kind of wrapping up the show here. I don't think we got that other $25. Let me look. We did not. Jazzy Jana was the last donation we got for $25.
Oh, come on, y'all.
I know.
I'll shave my head if you give the additional $25.
Would you do that for us?
Do that for you guys.
Goddamn hair matches. A hair match is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, we didn't have as many viewers tonight. I don't know what we were going up against. Hell, we had like 180 the other night. I think we
in the playoff or the playoffs are tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of playoff ball on tonight. I wouldn't thought it would have hurt us that bad, but maybe it did. But boy, what a comeback out of the Knicks. I quit watching the game, and the Knicks were down like 22-24 in the third quarter. I quit watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I watched them cut it to 16 late in the third. And I'm going, yeah, it's still fucking over. I'm going to do something else. And then Pat McAfee's running highlights and it's showing the Knicks celebrating. I said, what the fuck? What happened? And then it showed that Boston broke an NBA record by hitting 15 out of 60 3-point attempts.
Jesus.
Says they were pulling up, just firing from fucking 42 feet away for no goddamn
throwing
reason.
Hail Marys and shit.
Hail Marys and shit, yeah.
Damn.
And but here's the thing: they hit 15 out of 63s, the worst in NBA history, the most misses in NBA history, and they tied and went to overtime. So they shot that badly against the Knicks and still went to overtime with them and ended up losing by 3 in overtime.
The Knicks were playing not to lose instead of to win after a while.
I'm going to have to watch the Pacer game a little bit later. It was not looking good for the Pacers last time I peeked in. But I will check that out at the end of the night. Let me do something on the air here to try to tone down the brightness of the light. Computer, dim den light 3 to blue. Yeah, that worked. Computer, change den light 2 to blue. See, it takes a little of the harshness out of the background there a little bit.
Yeah, it's
computer.
Purple haze.
Change fan light 3 to blue. Computer, change fan light 3 to blue. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So fan light 3 faces the TV screen. So I change that to blue, change the 2 behind the screen to blue, and it just kind of takes a little of the harshness out of the background.
Oh, Dean, erase your, yeah.
Dean, you little bitch.
You know the rules.
Apparently, Dean doesn't know the rules. It's not to give away the finishes of the goddamn games, you asshole.
Is Dean new?
I'd be glad he's already donated. He can't get his money back.
If you're new, you don't give away the scores.
Boston Spencer is still blocked.
Really?
Because he came on here the other day. King, the Reds are winning big 32-7. I'm going, you stupid fucker. I haven't even watched the game yet. You ignorant motherfucker. Why would you do that?
What was the final score?
The final score, it was 1-0 in the 8th inning. So I'm thinking, so the Reds are going to score 32 runs in the 9th. Well, that ain't fucking happening. And then the Cardinals get 5 in the top of the 9th and beat us 6-0. 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so he wrote Bob bitching that I blocked him. I said, well, you stupid little fucker, not only did you ruin the game for me, now you watch me lose a game that we get beat in the fucking 9th inning that I thought was going to be a 32-7 blowout. So no, I ain't unblocking him either.
If you give you Dean, it's just a warning is all.
Well, Dean, you now know. You now know.
You have been
warned.
But
I guess I will watch the end of that game later, now that it's been ruined.
You know, ever since
I record all my games and I almost never watch anything live. So if you ever know anything about an NBA playoff score, the Cincinnati Reds score will get you blocked in a heartbeat if anyone ruins my Reds games, because I watch them every single day. I record them on FanDuel and MLB TV. What I don't like about FanDuel, when the game's over, you have to wait 4 hours for the fucking replay till midnight. Yeah, we'll replay the game at midnight. So sometimes it's a couple hours. But you just can't go back and watch the game when you fucking want. But on MLB TV, you can start. If it's any other team, you can watch the game whenever. But because the Reds are in blackout zone here, I have to wait for the game to be over for about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And then I can either watch the whole game in its entirety, a recap of the game, which takes about 3 minutes, or condensed plays. And if I'm just not in the mood to watch a lot of baseball, to watch an entire game, and if I do that with anybody, it's with the Reds, or playoff baseball. And So there's some nights I just don't feel like watching the whole game. But there's other times I'm working. If it's a day game, I'll throw it on FanDuel because we're not blacked out because we're in the Reds market. Uh, I'll have the Reds on in the background while I do my work, and makes the day go by a little better.
Now,
Did
blackouts
Dean
are supposed
just
to
post
drive
the
you to the
fucking
stadium,
score?
right?
So not only does he tell me it's a buzzer beater, he posts the fucking score.
Jesus, dude, you've been warned.
Damn, Dean. I would ask you what school you went to, but apparently you didn't.
Jesus, tits.
Starting to see why he ain't got a PayPal account. God damn. Dean, anything else? Do you want to give me the top 5 players' scoring records? Shit. Somebody throw a bomb at half court? Fuck, don't want to miss that.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Damn, Dean.
Dean, you need to open a PayPal account and send me $25 fucking dollars is what you need to do. Let's see if we got that last. You know what? We did not get that last $25 Coltrane.
Damn, and that was entertaining.
Man, we gave some entertaining shit tonight.
Oh, did.
Well, I want to thank everybody that did donate tonight. The Jazzy Janice from Louisiana's, the Nicoles, the Tylers, the Daniel Limleys, Billy Sellers, who donated $35 about a month ago. No, he did it several days ago. NBA ain't hitting on much to me now. I mean, and I'm going to be honest with you. When I watch the NBA playoffs, I watch key plays. And if it's a close game, the last 5 minutes, I'll watch the last 5 minutes. Now, maybe in the finals, I'll watch a little bit more. I don't give all that much. This is why Dean is on secret probation right now. Now, if this was the NFL playoffs or something, or college football, I'd be losing my fucking mind.
Jesus Christ. How do we jump up to 123?
Holy shit. Well, I'll tell you how. A lot of people get the notifications real fucking late. And so here we've been on, an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. And I didn't know until you told me.
There was like 19 people 5 minutes ago.
Well, there's a lot of people that when I did that big campaign to get those extra 5,000 subscribers, and started sending everybody, hey, put up my logo and get people to ask what it's about. And we picked up 5, maybe almost 6,000 subscribers.
Really?
Well,
you do some shit like that on my page.
I take it back. It was about 5,300 total. Oh, and what I did is I had all my friends on Twitter and especially Facebook. That's why most of these people don't donate. June, I'll pay the fine. Game.
Yeah, I don't think so, bro.
Dean is in Michigan on thin ice, and it's about 80 degrees right now. And the ice is thawing.
I'm hearing some cracks all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's how I let people start the show over.
Randy, Macho Man Saturday. Oh, yeah. No.
Randy, would it start the donations over? Yeah, I don't think. Now, here's the thing to remember. When these people pop in late, these are a lot of the people that subscribe to the show when we were doing the campaign to get people to subscribe to see what we do. There are people out there that wouldn't donate $5 to save their mother's life, more or less anyone else. So these people that are watching right now are not known as donors. It's great to have the viewers. We appreciate them watching. And especially when we go to May the 12th, and whoever's watching the show there will be commercial time. And the more people that are watching the show that get a little 15-second commercial, the more revenue that we generate for the show. So, but good night. I'm out of here. We bored Billy Sellers. We bored him out of the goddamn show.
Yeah, that's kind of when you know it's time, huh?
If
you lose his attention,
lose Billy's attention, it's time to wrap the goddamn show up. No, we never did get that other 25. I thought we gave some pretty good stuff. I really did.
We did. You know, sometimes the crowd, but you know, a lot of people get paid on like Wednesdays and Thursdays nowadays. So,
well, that could be like I get paid on very early Friday mornings is when I get paid. Be good, Billy. All right, yeah, you'll see Coltrane tomorrow. I'll be back here Thursday. Oh, by the way, I better plug it real quick. Hopefully, we have a big audience for this. I got Herb Simmons coming on Thursday night. He's doing Bill Apter's show at 4, and then he's coming over here doing my show at 9, 8 his time. Herb Simmons is going to be promoting that big event that he's having that I think Randy Orton and Bob Orton both are going to be at. I know Bob Orton's going to be there. And I've heard rumors Randy might be there too. This is for Herb's big event, the one I get invited to every year, but Dutch fucks me out of it.
Oh, the one that Virgil and Dutch and
yeah. Virgil fucked me over once.
Rest his soul.
Yeah, God rest his soul. Exactly. Yeah, he ain't taking my shit no more, is he?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
What date is he going to be on?
Herb Simmons is on Thursday night. You going to be around?
I'll be around.
Yeah, Thursday night, Herb Simmons, big time promoter in the St. Louis territory. He runs a big event every year right about this time of year. And he's going to come on my show and promote that. And Herb is working at trying to get a Randy Orton autographed picture, maybe with Randy and his father. I hear that he's got something over there with Randy and John Cena that he's looking to get for us, that Randy and John have both signed. And that would be something very nice to auction off on the show. So we'll talk about all that. We got 113 people in here right now. Not a fucking one of them will donate, but they're here.
Oh, the 120 jumped up.
Back up to 120. It's
like the stock market.
Some smart ass that was in here the other day, and I forgot what his name was. And I said, well, it wouldn't kill you to get a membership or make a donation. I said, you've asked about 8 questions here. I said, membership has its privileges. I said, make a donation. He said, you can't make me donate. I said, but let me show you what I can do. That was it for it. That was it for him. So let me check. I heard my phone ping. Let's see if it's any.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Let's see here. No, I thought maybe a late donation come through. I heard the phone ping.
Just a teaser.
Let me check Venmo real quick. Where's all that stuff at? Where's the Venmos? Where's the Cash Apps? I know I got them. Because the email notifications have been very, very slow coming through tonight. Not as slow as the people that got the notification of this show, but
StreamYard's been slow too. I've noticed there's been a lot of I click the button, it's like a 5-second delay for a lot of things.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, but
yeah, that is weird. Who the hell?
Elon Musk is making his move. Why, but didn't we get quiet?
Okay, all right. All right, yeah, I just got some hotel information that I needed. Let me mark that as unread so he doesn't know that I read his message.
Do that shit too.
Yeah. Well, this was a cell phone message. And I just gave away a lot of trade secrets, didn't I? Well, if you're watching the show late, good night, Jazzy Jana, and everybody. We did go about an hour and a half tonight. We came up 25. We came. Yeah, I went an hour. We came up $25 short on our goal for tonight. But if you're watching the show late, and if you're in a position to do a little something to help us out, we'd really appreciate it. A lot of good people out there needing help. And we will be back here Thursday night, 9 o'clock, with Herb Simmons, the promoter out in St. Louis, running his big event. And he's got a ton of big names that are going to be out there. And in all honesty, guys, I would love to be able to do his show, but me traveling to St. Louis would be hell, especially with my hip the way it is right now. He's invited me just about every year.
Charter your private jet sometime.
So all I don't even know if I could do that because maybe
you can lay down in there.
Maybe a private jet, maybe that. Getting through an airport's another goddamn story.
RV.
So yeah, so let's tune in. Let's have a big crowd here. Hopefully Thursday night, 9 o'clock for Herb Simmons, and I hate to say goodbye to 119 of you, but there's 119 people that ain't donating, so who gives a shit?
Hey, tell your friends to donate and subscribe.
There you go. So we will be back here Thursday night. Don't know if I'm doing a show Saturday night or not. That'll be a game time decision. And I guess I'm going to go watch that Indiana Pacer game that Dean Hacker ruined.
The one that was a buzzer beater.
Yeah. 120 to 119. That one. That's the one I'm getting ready to go see the finish of. Well, at least nobody ruined the USO match for me yet. So.
There you go.
I better get out of here before someone does. So yeah, if you know anybody that can help us out with that remaining $25 to help these people, we appreciate it. Bob and I have been cleaned out helping Jelly Bean and my friend in Istanbul, and the people that we helped before then, while I was off for 3 weeks. So, but we're back now, not feeling too bad other than the bad hip. Like I said, July we'll do something special, a special show on the 10-year anniversary of my book, and we've got a few Anthony Scaramucci books left. I know Michigan Mike's getting one of those, and my friend Tim. So I think we have 5 Anthony Scaramucci books left at $59 shipped to your door. And we'll even try and throw in a little something extra with that. So until Thursday night, 9 p.m., that's Coltrane. I'm the Starmaker. And we did say a good day. And I guess I'm the one hitting the end stream.
You got it, but yeah.